Slanted was the Regal Cinemas Monday mystery movie on March 9th. They labeled it as a horror edition. I'll get into if I think that label is warranted or not soon. This one is a hard one to review because of the subject matter. An insecure Chinese American teenager undergoes experimental surgery to appear white. Slanted is like Mean Girls mixed with The Substance, A Different Man, and some Get Out in there. Shirley Chen and Mckenna Grace play the same girl before and after the surgery. Both actresses put in very good performances. Vivian Wu and Fang are great as Joan's parents. A lot of emotion comes from Joan's relationship with her parents. Wu and do a fantastic job at changing the way they act before and after the surgery. Jo is still their daughter, but there is still that hesitation and that heartbreak. This is Amy Wang's feature film, screenplay, and directorial debut, and I think she did a really good job. While watching the film, you can tell Wang put a lot of herself into the film, making it feel extremely personal at times. While a lot of the film is not subtle at all, Wang still uses imagery in a way to push her themes home. I think that the messages and themes of the film are important and positive. Some of it gets muddled trying to balance the satire humor, the body horror, and the coming-of-age dramatic aspects. I do think a lot of that is balanced pretty well, though. I laughed or I chuckled a handful of times, sometimes at how cringe it was, which I'm sure is intentional on Wayne's part, most of the time. And sometimes, you just laugh at how out there and ridiculous it gets. I love the teen coming-of-age story, although I do think some things could have been delved into more or had a much better conclusion than they did. I loved the addition of her best friend, played by Maitreyi Ramakrishnan, as someone before the surgery who was really close with her. Ramakrishnan did a great job. I just wish the two characters had one more scene together at the end to conclude that arc better. There's a couple little things like that in the film that I wish that they did conclude better. The film does have some body horror elements in it, but I think Regal could have gotten away with not labeling it as a horror edition of the mystery movie. There's a few seconds of hair getting ripped out from the roots, and a few parts where Jo is peeling a thin layer of skin off of her face. Almost like how when you were a kid and rubbed glue on your fingers and then peeled it off your fingers. Her face is droopy a few times. There are a couple haunting images in some dream sequences. The last scene is kind of the most graphic of the movie, and I still think it didn't need to be labeled a horror edition. I definitely understand if horror fans were disappointed after going in expecting a horror film. It's much more of a coming-of-age satirical drama than a horror film. I did feel the length at times, and I got kind of uninterested here and there, even with its short runtime of an hour and 40 minutes. Slanted will be divisive because it's such a provocative premise that I'm sure is tough to pull off. I don't think they hit it totally out of the park, but still, always remember film is subjective because it is such tough subject matter to pull off well. Again, I don't think they did it perfectly, but I do think that they did a pretty good job. As human beings, it's important to have diversity and be proud of our differences. Whether it's race, ethnicity, sexual orientation, religion, and everything in between. There are times the film's pacing and execution don't totally dive into that as much as they could have, or as deep as they could have. But overall, it's what I think the film is saying, and I still think it did a pretty good job with it. I hope Wang and other filmmakers continue to make bold and provocative films like this. Original, bold, creative, etc. don't always equal good ideas or good films, but that doesn't mean I don't want filmmakers to keep trying to make original ideas come to life. I'd give Slanted a 7 out of 10. That's a 7 out of 10 for Slanted. Have you seen Slanted? What did you think of it? Let me know down in that comment section. If you liked what you've seen here and you want to see some more content from me, please click around here to see some other content from me. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video with the movie fans in your life. Hit that notification bell, subscribe, and come to the Upside Down.